Would you please welcome Mayor George Schloegel?
Now, I'm going to put you to work. I have a presentation, but I'd like to officially ask you today to start a new organization, and we'll call it the Gulfport Peace Corps. And what I'm going to ask you to do is volunteer an hour a week of your time. But I want you to volunteer doing something that you really love doing. Don't know what that might be and where you might volunteer. It doesn't have to be a volunteer for the city itself, but volunteer to do something in this town that you love doing. Now, when you volunteer, you'll just be joining a group that's already volunteered. We've got about 700 city employees. We've got 2 councilmen in the room. Libby and Karen, they're volunteering their time, working both as full-time council people. So they're giving us about 70, 80 hours a week. Now, they get paid a little bit, but it's precious little. I'd ask you to join them in becoming part of the Gulfport Peace Corps. We want to rebuild our coast. We want to get the hurricane behind us, and we want to complete the projects that Brett Ward and his administration started. And you saw those, what we call directors in Gulfport stand. That's the 700 people that work for the city supervisors. And we're going to show you a few things today that are going on to try to give you a chance to see some things in the city that you can be a part of. The payback is going to be phenomenal for you as well as for the city. And what that will be is your choice. But an hour of your time, that will be perhaps the best gift you can give yourself. Because every hour you give will come back to you 100-fold, I promise. Now let's talk about a few things going on in the city so you can see the kind of things you might want to volunteer for. For the first time, George, maybe in your recent lifetime, every building in the 1300 block of 25th Avenue between 13th and 14th Street is occupied. If you haven't been downtown lately for a meal at lunch or dinner, you're missing something. It's tough now to get a parking place. The new restaurants that open are terrific, and the old ones that have renovated and are expanding are there for you and for our citizens in Gulfport. Gulfport is really coming in together downtown. Lisa Bradley has been a part of Main Street $4 million facade program. Not just to put a front on a building, but to make that building active all the way to the back alley. So we have people working downtown and people coming to visit downtown. 80 new fronts on our building. And if you took a picture of Gulfport back in, say, 1940, you're going to see that picture come to life in the next few months, because we're almost through. Still a little inconvenient tearing up some streets, but we're almost through. It'll be like no downtown anywhere around these parts when we're finished, something you can really be proud of. The streetscape puts trees back in the boulevard. We eliminated those boulevards through the years because we felt we needed to have more parking. But what we did was we got a few more parking places, true, but we changed the image of our town. We're trying to go back to that, to get that old town look. And you'll see the trees and the sidewalks, and as they mature, Gulfport's going to go back to what was old is new again. The World War II Memorial, which used to sit in the boulevard in 25th Avenue, has been moved next to the depot. It's almost finished. We'll have its dedication in a few days. This is an example, as you see, of some before and after of what's happening downtown, if you haven't ridden through that lately. If you look at some of those buildings, of what they used to look like and what they look like today. But it's more than just the facade, it's what's behind the building. You look at Old Marshall's, which used to be the fruit stand. That's going to be an expansion of the Oyster House. There you see what's happening. Anderson's Menswear, and see the old sign that came up. Look at how we're making those improvements by the individual property owners doing their part before and after. Our town is revitalized. Now, you say, well, that's downtown. What about the rest? Well, let me say to you that we've got a street paving program in cooperation with MDOT and cooperation with some funds that we have from various sources. On 25th Avenue, Highway 49, those dangerous places that you can cut across in front of traffic, being turned into boulevards with trees down the middle. And so when you get in there by area by Hudson's going all the way north, all those will be a boulevard, a welcoming boulevard to people who come down Highway 49. Cooperation with MDOT. Pass Road, city limits to city limits. Repaved in the next few months. Hoping to get some of those boulevards in the middle of Pass Road. About, Chris, what, 16 different major corridors that will be paved within the next 6 months. And that's not the repair work south of the railroad tracks that we're doing for the hurricane repair. As soon as the infrastructure, the water and the sewers reinstalled, all of those roads south of the railroad will be repaved. The ones got torn up by the storm. Your city's coming back to life. The hurricane is behind us. We're seeing great progress. We can ask you only to just drive around and look at Jones Park and see what's happening down there. We'll have Jones Park finished hopefully by about September of next year. That means the harbor will be completed, the MCTA building will be there, the new splash pad will be there. It's going to be a fantastic park. Remember what that is. That's Mississippi's front yard, where the world comes to see our state. It's gorgeous. Complement that with what's happening downtown, and we're going to have as good an entranceway as you can possibly conceive for our community because of the work that's already going on. On the 4th of November, we have our next gathering downtown at lunch. Come by and have a sandwich. Come by and see what some of the vendors are serving. It's going real, real well already, and it's going to continue to go well. Dial into the city's webpage. This is one that deals with Main Street. Now, it's not just a webpage that you and I locally can pull up. People all over the world can pull this page up. And what we're putting on the page is what you have to do if you want to come to Gulfport on where you can rent or buy a building. So we're listing on that page the property that's for sale or for rent, so that an individual in San Francisco who's thinking about coming to Gulfport can see what's available. We're doing that for the people that are a part of Main Street. In other words, we're promoting the location of the businesses by this webpage. Get hundreds and hundreds of hits every day. And we'll expand that beyond Main Street to people that want to come here and live in any part of our city. They want to know something about our educational system, about our recreational system. So we'll be able to talk to the world on this webpage. Dial it up and give it a try. Department of Leisure Services. Particularly proud of this because of what it touches. You think of leisure services and you think of children's activities, and we've got all of those. We've got youngsters playing in organized sports, but we've got individual activities too, like face painting, so that children are having fun being residents of Gulfport. I'll show you a couple of things that we have there. A principal provider of recreational athletic facilities, 38 different ball fields, 31 parks, 5 tennis courts, 3 gymnasiums, 7 walking tracks, 3 fitness centers, a swimming pool, a senior citizen center, 12 fishing reefs right off the edge of the pier, right off the edge of the coast, and 600 acres of, that's yours, the city of Gulfport, something you might want to give an hour a week of your time. Now, does it touch just little children? Oh no. In our senior citizen program, We have all kinds of activities. Here you see at the Charles Walker Center, a sewing program, enriching the lives of our